a remarkable country in Eastern Asia with an extraordinary growth rate. And one most interesting fact for me about this country or these people is their love for everything small. If you want to know everything, these people love, in a small way, you have to stay tuned on this program. As long as you're watching me, you get to know what we are talking about and the people we will be talking about on this show. But before then, I would want you to stay put and take your phones, go to your Facebook, and watch, send in your comments what you know about this country, and whatever you want us to know about the country. I am doing this with Linda Philip Ali. Yeah, I called it
Absolutely,
the
yeah,
three names.
completely.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
So you're welcome to Japan.
Thank you.
I just said one of the most interesting thing I like
Yeah.
about these people is the fact that they love everything small. But for the fact, and they're actually very small in
Very
nature.
small.
I think it's because of the way they are, so they just
then.
appreciate everything that comes small.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you know about small things, they are actually not small when it comes to the worth, because these people appreciate the fact that even if you're selling something for them, they don't care about the quantity, but they care about the quality. So that is what we are talking about. So it's not all about, because we said small is small nature, or when you say small is small portion of food. And small people can eat a lot though.
Of course.
So that is not what we are talking about. But what we are talking about, and their housing too, they have this structured way of, having a little space, because they actually don't have enough space. So they have, most times their houses are actually very they have small space, even their businesses. And these people, just the way we talked about, how extraordinary their economy is, and then the growth is. These people are business-minded people. And for the fact that they are business-minded people, they go for quality, not for quantity. If you're buying something from them, somebody would say, these people that like producing things, cheap things, and be sending, but it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Most of these things are being produced, in Japan, and then they are produced in good quality. And most of the Japanese people, when they go to other countries, they don't really appreciate what they see in other countries, because they have the factory. They are the factory, actually. So they produce so many things, and then, it makes them feel like other people or other things from other places are inferior. And that is why they really, really appreciate, themselves. They appreciate what they do. They appreciate, and that is why their economy is, growing. Because if you appreciate what you're doing, definitely you will patronize it, and the economy will grow. But it's not like, reverse is the case, in other countries where toothpick are being, made in other countries. So just imagine that if you have to import even a toothpick to a country, it is actually a problem for you already in the country. So if we want to have growth anywhere at all, then we'll have to appreciate our own things. And by appreciating our own things, we'll start, seeing reasons why we should make it better.
It's a remarkable thing to know that the people in Japan actually appreciate what they do. It's another for you to appreciate what you do for yourself, and it's another for you not to appreciate. You can actually use your own hand to spoil what you have done. But then the people in Japan have actually taken it upon themselves to actually do what is right by marketing their brands, and then by making it known to other people. Is the fact that they go to different places to see different things that they manufacture in different countries. They see it as it's something that is not actually up to their standard, because they know they are good in doing all these things. They know that they are good, like they have the machines to do all these things. So like they manufacture such things, and then they see it like you're doing your own thing, and then it's not up to their own standard. So it's one thing for you to promote what you do, and that is what the people of Japan do. When they go anywhere, they try to sell their markets, they try to sell the things they do, for you to know that, okay, I need this thing, I want to make use of this thing, and then they're selling their products well. Unlike some other countries that feel when they go to different places, they feel this thing is better than we do in our own country. But people in Japan will actually make you know that they are actually doing what is best for them, either in or outside their country.
And it's actually funny what you just said. Sometimes we'll go somewhere and be like, I wish I would stay here forever.
Yes.
This thing is so good. And, but your own back there, you'll be like, It is
So like, why
not
wouldn't you
it.
just promote your own business? Why wouldn't you just promote yourself by making it known to other people? And okay, if you know what you're doing is wrong, or if you know what you're doing is not up to the standard of other countries, why not make yours up to that standard?
The thing is, I wanted to even speak a foul language. The thing is the structuring from the
Yeah.
beginning. It has to be that from the roots. Something has to go right for you to be
Actually.
able to achieve all that. And in Japan, trust me, the government has done so well
Yeah.
for them to be able to have what they have now. Because if they don't have if they didn't have people that stood, or people that started this thing and maintained the level till this time, in fact even upgrading the level
Actually.
by this time, then they wouldn't have gotten what they have
They
gotten,
have right now.
what they have now. But they are maintaining level, they are maintaining some of these things that they know that from beginning
Yeah.
is what they need and the country wants, and that is what they are standing on. But if you start on a bad foot, or if you start on the wrong foot, it will be very difficult for you to have somebody that would come, because even the person that will come and try to change it would definitely suffer in the process of changing it, and the person may get frustrated and just leave what he or she started doing. So that is why from beginning these people saw the reason why quality instead of just having quantity. And it has messed up our minds. Sometimes we go for the quantity, not the
Not the
quality.
quality.
And then at the end, and one Japanese woman said, she said she would rather go for a quality thing than to go for a quantity, because she's a very busy person. And these people are very busy. They don't get tired.
Of course,
Like
of
they
course.
work on the clock that they don't get tired. So she said instead of her to waste her time going shopping all the time as a person who has something to do, she would rather have something of good quality, and it would
last.
take her years not to want to
Actually,
have
to
that
buy
thing
that same
again.
thing
It's just
again.
like, okay, let me get this in and just get
course.
past that situation. So it is really good that we go for quality instead of quantity.
Going for quality instead of quantity, it's something people fail to understand, because they feel when you go for quantity, it's more like it is what you have, like you can actually see it's plenty for you to actually have. But then when you say you're going for quality, when you go for quality, you know something is going to last for a longer period. Going for quantity now is not going to last for you, no matter how you get that, no matter how it is. It will just be for maybe a number of times, like maybe you can just use it for just a short period of time. But when you get something that is of good quality, you know that it's going to last for a long time. And then before you try to get that thing again, it will take you like years before you can get it. That is why most times when you go to the market, they tell you if you want to buy something, they'll actually give you options. So it's left for you to choose from the one you want that is going to be favorable to you. Consistency matters. People in Japan now, they are consistent about all the things they do. And then growth is something they love so much. Like they don't just
obsessed
stay,
with
they are
growth.
obsessed with growth. Like they want to know that, okay, this thing is like this right now. Okay, what if tomorrow is going to be like this? Like they are always ahead of time, like doing things their way and making it look like you can't just say you're going to match up with them, because they are actually on top. Like whatever it is they are doing, they always want to make it top notch for you to know that this is what they do. So it's something that is so interesting to know that when you find yourself in Japan, it's either you're learning one or two things, because you can't just sit down there and be idle, because they are not idle people. They welcome people a lot. So then when they tell you, when you are welcomed in such a place, why wouldn't you try to seize the opportunity to learn certain things about them that you can actually teach your own people, or better still, you can actually develop your own self. So then talking about people in Japan and then the way they are so obsessed with growth is something that I love so much, that if one is so obsessed with growth, why wouldn't you try to tell yourself, I want to grow as well, or I want to do this better? If you're doing something and then it hasn't been going well, why not just change the way you do it? Like people in Japan, when they try to do something and then it doesn't work out, they try to change another dimension of doing it and then it goes better. Yeah, that is why they still grow. That is why they grow every day. And then they know that whatever it is they're doing is of good quality. So why not go for something that you know is going to last longer for you than go for something that you know you go back to the market repeatedly. Busy people, like you said, cannot just go to the market like every day to buy things. That's why it's actually advisable for you to say, maybe you can have some things in your house that you don't need to go out to go and get it and come back, go out. Like, you're busy. you're doing something, you're working, something that is supposed to be giving you money, now you're wasting time in doing another different thing. So why not just tell yourself that I can do this by getting something that is of top notch, that is going to be of importance to me than later.
You know, Linda, this goes back to the structuring I mentioned earlier. And let's go to the educational system now in Japan. It is just the way you said, everything they do there or everything they have is top notch.
Yeah.
In Japan, it is zero illiteracy.
Illiteracy, true.
Like, you understand, 100%
100%
literacy.
literacy, yeah.
So you know, from there you will get to know that whatever its citizen wants, they can have. Because educationally, they are high.
Of course.
And when you have the good education, trust me, good education doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be the richest person. No, but good education can open ways for you to be that person you want to be. And in Japan, education doesn't necessarily mean going to the school and just put 1 + 1 together. No. In their schools, they have different things to do, technical things to do, like practical things to do. It doesn't have to be we sitting in the class and then a lecturer teaching us on theory. No, they are more on the practical, aspect of learning for a long time in a classroom, especially these very young ones, who will go to school in the morning till like maybe around 4
p.m.
Then when they are back around 4, they have like 3 assignments to do before tomorrow. And when they wake up tomorrow, they have school to go to. So it is more like their brains are being overworked. And sometimes we feel like education is you being, putting too much time. But it is not about the time, but the energy you have, at that time to assimilate what you can assimilate, because education has to be with assimilation. If your level of assimilation, and there are people under any weather, they can assimilate well. But there are children that you cannot teach them when they are tired, because they won't listen to anything. But in Japan, they have this kind of free time where, young ones have their time. And one thing I like about them is the fact that education is not the fact that you must like, it's not just like, okay, it is compulsory, just like some other places they will say education is compulsory, but you find people on the street not going to school. In this place, education is compulsory, which means education is compulsory. You must go to school, and you must have that suitable environment for you to learn and to learn well. Their teachers are trained. And one thing I like about these people is the fact that they don't have, cleaners in their schools. Some of the schools, they don't, like most of the schools, in fact, they don't have cleaners. So most times you will see the students and the teachers too are the ones, cleaning. After every class, they clean up, they do everything before they go home. And in fact, they even cook in the school, and some of the students also help in cooking. Some of them help in dishing and all those things. So it is really interesting. But if you come to another part, which of course no matter how another country is good, in another country, you will see them facing a lot. You would see the teachers are the one, just sitting down saying, you clean this thing, you mop this place. But in this place, like, everybody is on his knee. If you're going to be sweeping, you're sweeping. If you're going to be cleaning, mopping, you are mopping. Even the teachers, and everybody.
Something that's so interesting that Japan is known for is cleanliness. Like, that place is so clean. Like, you can't just say you find yourself in Japan and then you're seeing different dirts anywhere, or you're seeing people scattered just doing nothing. It's a very clean country. Like, it's a place where you can actually want to sit at any place, like any position you can just find yourself to sit and even eat. There are other countries that you can't just find yourself eating in a particular place because you feel this place is dirty, I can't just find myself in this place eating, like it's going to be something bad for you. But then in Japan is clean. Like, it's clean. And then something that they love most in that place is actually interacting with people. Like, during my research, like, I learned that they interact with people a lot, and they build people a lot. They said all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But then, when you're talking about being in a classroom and it's all about just reading, writing, like, there's nothing more to do again. But then people in Japan, they've taken it upon themselves to make you do some other things even differently. Like, you could be in class and then you're learning, and then you still have a time for yourself to just maybe have fun, maybe to just cool off and a lot of all these assignments that they give children in some other places to go home to do, most times you can just find them doing it in school. Then when you get back home, it's just for you to rest, like just cool off your brain, just rest, and then tomorrow you go back for another fresh thing again to be done. So then people in Japan, they actually respect and they take care of themselves very well.
They do.
They do, because you know, when you find yourself in a place that is not welcoming for you, like an environment that is not welcoming, you can't actually find yourself doing things that you're supposed to do. But then people in Japan, once you find yourself in Japan, you're actually good at maybe what they are doing. You want to sit down with them to learn. They don't just hoard their education. Like once you find yourself there and you put on interest about learning something, a particular thing, they actually welcome you to give you that opportunity for you to learn that thing, for you to actually do that thing for the development of yourself and even for the country. They welcome people a lot. That is why even when you as a stranger gets there, you can actually sit and do some other things and even give them ideas on what to do. So it's good for you to understand that in as much as they know very well what to do, they create a lot of things, they manufacture a lot of things, and when you find yourself there, you learn from them and then you actually teach some certain things, because you can't say you're in school today and then your teacher is just giving instructions for you to do this, do that, do this, and then they're not just doing anything. But now they're setting a pace for you to understand that even as a teacher, you can actually involve yourself in doing some certain things, in the cooking, in the cleaning, and all of that. Like they involve everybody. That's something that children will actually want. You as a parent or you as a teacher, you can't just sit giving out instructions. Even your children, even your own child will actually want to say,
Trust me, we are lazy bones.
do you understand? They'll be like, oh, you're always sitting down giving out instructions. You can't just do anything for yourself, or you can't just pick up. And just imagine for you to just pick up something, you have to call someone somewhere to come and pick it for you.
That's our mothers.
Like that's our mothers, you know. So like that's something people in Japan actually find difficult doing, because they always want to involve everybody and even themselves. So you being a parent, you actually you can do something with your own child and then later on realize you're doing it for yourself as well. So they are not lazy people. They are not. So that's something we need to learn today, that
Have you met the housewives Japanese?
okay.
You know, most of these housewives Japanese, you said they are not lazy. You said how, you know, you make your
They
children
involve
feel
themselves
like,
in doing
okay,
things.
it doesn't have to be that this thing is here and then I'm calling you from somewhere to come and pick it. In fact, a housewife Japanese is a complete housewife. In fact, they are the most exhausted
Exhausted
people because they are always. Do you know they are more busier than people who go to work? Because when you are a woman and you have to go to work, it's a different thing, because before you get back, you have, you know, somebody
Somebody
that
that's
has
going to
already
do
taken
something,
care of
yeah,
what you
they
have
have.
to do. But a fully, you know, this one is fully paid, because this
Fully
one is
paid
a
housewife.
full house. You know, this one is
Yeah.
a full job that she has to do, because she has to take care of her husband. And trust me, they have this culture. You know, these Japanese people, they have a very strong belief in their culture and how they do things.
Yeah.
And most times when you see them in their houses, they are always, just the way you said, they are always cleaning. They will clean everywhere. And you can't come to their house wearing a shoe and then you
Of course,
just
you
get to
pull
the
it up
house.
by the door
You
and
know,
they give
most
you
in
something
our
else.
place here, it is most times, you know, people who have carpets in their houses,
Yeah,
they'll say, don't
pull off
enter,
your shoes
because if you enter,
outside.
it will show. They will have to clean it out. But this one, that, like, it is just their cleanliness that has to do with, you know, them acting that way. If you come to their house, they have some slippers for
Slippers by
you
the
that you
door.
have to
So you
remove
have
your
to
shoe
wear.
and wear it and come inside. And that has to do with the wife, you know, making sure that all these things happen. And then there's a mat room that, you know, sometimes they have for visitors. So if you want to go there and sit, then when you get there, you remove your shoes, sit down. But most times they don't even really accommodate people inside their
Yeah,
houses,
true.
because they say they have a little bit of, you know, limited space in the house. So most times they
So
don't
it's
really like
small.
bringing people. I wonder how you don't want to take me to your house, but you are friendly, because these people are meant, you know, to be seen as very friendly people.
course they are.
That are accommodating. Just the way you said, sometimes when you don't know something, when you meet a Japanese person, the person wants to
Treat
put
you
you
real
through.
good.
But when it comes to, you know, them accommodating you into their
Yeah.
homes, is a little bit of, you know, they have restrictions, not because they don't want you to be in their house, but because of the kind of space they have.
have.
But then going back to the housewife, you know, she has a lot to do. She goes to the market. get
Cleans the
things.
house,
And
take
when
care of
you
the children.
when you have, you know, somebody that is always, and you know, they said their life expectancy is actually 84.
84%.
So
Yeah,
they have like one of
84%.
the highest, you know, life expectancy
Yeah,
because of the kind of food
they
they
eat.
eat. They love fruits, they love, you know, organic things. And that is why they said they love quality things. It doesn't have to be, it has to be in quantity, but the kind
Yeah,
of quality it brings into, you know, it doesn't have to be clothes or
yeah,
maybe, you know, things that you need to hold or accessories, but even things they put, even in things
actually.
they eat, also they consider the quality of that thing. And you know, that is why they really live long.
Yeah, you know, talking about their life expectancy over there. This, during my research, I learned there are 3 people right now that are still alive in Japan that are above 113 years. Like they due to the way they take care of themselves and the way they do things over there, they're actually helping themselves,
And do you know, you will
building
not even
themselves.
think they're up to
You
that
won't think
age.
they're up to that age because you know most times it's not just you eating this, eating that. Like doing exercise for yourself as well helps the body and then helps you to do other things as well. You might not have like all these housewives we're talking about. They are always busy doing 1 or 2 things in the house. There was a short video I saw.
One or everything.
Everything actually. There was this short video I saw about a Japanese housewife that she was actually cleaning, she was cooking actually, and then her husband was on his way back from work, and then when she just heard the horn like downstairs, like she had to rush to the living room to just see if everything is actually intact, if everywhere is clean. She was still cooking, but then she had to rush to check other things. Like they don't have housewives, like they don't have house helps for you to say, okay, I'm doing this, you do this for more. You do. No, they involve themselves in doing everything. That's something interesting for you to know. Like in other parts of other countries, like we are lazy in doing other things for ourselves or
Talk for
for other
yourself.
people. Like
Say, I am
you know,
lazy.
no, I am not because I always I try to put things in order. And then you know, some people will want to say, I can't do this right now, maybe I'll do it later. When what you know you're going to do later, why not just do it now and then rest later? But then you want to tell yourself that I'm not going to do this now. Like sometimes when I say I want to do this and I don't do it, I feel so uncomfortable until I've done that, and then I'll realize fine, now I have peace of mind, so I can do any other thing I want to do. So it's more like people in Japan, the wives are actually good. Like if you can't tell me that out of the housewives over there, I can't even say there's anyone that I've heard or seen that is not actually doing something right. I know other people, they have their flaws, you
Of
understand.
course.
But then recorded, like they don't have any bad record about a housewife not doing her chores or not doing what is right in the house. Because like most of them don't actually do anything apart from being at home and taking care of the husband, the house, and the kids. And then you know that when you come back from work, you have something to eat. When you come back from work, you have a comfortable place to sit and then to actually relax with your family and do things you want to do. So people in Japan are actually interesting people. They are welcome people, but the fact that they don't actually welcome you to their homes is because they know it is small. Like it's more like it's just for them and the family. So most times if they want to have this leisure time with you, maybe they just take you out, they go out and then just sit out, eat, then maybe you can just discuss whatever it is you want to discuss, and then everybody goes his own way. And that's actually something interesting because these days you can't just welcome just anybody to your country or rather to your house, because you might not know who has a different intention, a bad intention about you or your family, maybe your wife or your kids, or maybe for your own house. So then I think it's actually safe as well for them not to bring just anybody to the house, but for them to bring you to your house. Like for them to just say, okay, fine, you're coming to my house. It means they actually welcome you. Even with the little space they have, they will still accommodate you.
And you know, they are over calculative. They are very educated.
True.
So, and they just feel like they have a lot of wisdom in them. And when you see them actually with the way they walk, and you know they don't love wasting time, always on the run.
On the
They are
run.
always
True,
doing something.
true.
If you see them, you just be like, it is. Sometimes when you talk to them, it's
Yeah,
already, you
true.
know, and it's not like the person means any harm, but the person
Actually.
actually is thinking of another thing.
Yeah,
And that is why, you know, the growth there is actually of high
Is of
rate,
high
because
rate.
they cannot just afford to waste time on things that are not
Necessary, actually.
Yes, you can greet. It's not like our own here, oh, that when you're going somewhere, you will meet somebody on the road and you will greet,
Actually,
how
greet
is
for
your
more
mom?
than-
How the person will start asking you, how is your mom? How is your dad? How is
And
your
your
grandmother?
siblings,
How
yeah.
is this? And they'll start
Ask
mentioning all the names of
everything.
the
Even your dog in
siblings.
your house, you can just ask how is the dog in your house. Like,
Is
I
it still
miss that.
alive?
Do you understand? Like, they just have something to ask.
But then these people are actually very busy people. They are
Yeah,
always on
actually.
the appreciate you wasting my time.
Actually.
So if you say this is the time, this is the time for a Chinese for a Japanese person. Why am I just saying Chinese person
Chinese, I
because we are
don't
in
know, maybe.
Asia? But you know, if you say this is the time, then it has to be that time for a Japanese, because even before that time they are there already, you know. So you have to make sure that you are in time always, because they are always in time. And another thing I like about them is the fact that they are their love for bicycles, and you know, the
Motorcycle.
beautiful bicycles. Their wives actually go to the market on bicycles.
Bicycles,
They
yeah.
take their children to school on bicycles. In
Bicycles.
fact, some of the bicycles are actually very funny looking, but they are cute
Actually,
though. Where you would see a carrier for a child in
child,
front,
yeah.
and then another one at the
Behind.
back. 3 people on a
On the
bicycle,
bike,
but it's very comfortable and it's
course.
very safe. You know, they take their children to school with bicycle. They go to the market with bike
Market.
safe.
Of course, it's very safe.
And you know, they have a parking lot there
yeah,
at the
sure.
train station. Even though, in fact, most times it is fully packed with bicycles.
Yeah.
I wonder, and they really love cars too.
They love
but they
cars.
have. I think they have highest of bicycles in that
Of
country,
course.
because you will see the parking lots like full of bicycles. You just
Like,
wonder.
I wonder how you can know this is your bicycle when you go to pick it.
No, they have. They have. I think they have tags.
Okay, that you need
Where
to put
definitely
on it,
you
yeah.
have tag where, you know, we show a number, and maybe you have a number with you, so that when you get back, you know, okay, and your bicycle has to be locked there.
Yeah, I think the reason why
Yeah.
they actually use bicycle most times because of their roads. Their roads are actually very narrow. So like that is why they mostly use bicycles like to different places for it to be easier for them to get to their location and all the things they want to do, and then to even get there faster for them to do. You can just wake up and then just decide to cook something, or then you realize there's no time for you to do this and then you want to rush to the market. You just have to, when you use your bicycle, like you're just on the run and then immediately you're there, you get all the items you want to get, and you come back home, like you don't have time. Like, talking about they not having time, like maybe even to greet you on the road, like, you know, I met one Japanese some time ago like that, and he works with someone I know, and there was this time I realized, like, most of the time I see him, he's always on the run, like he's always doing something,
And you
then,
think they are not polite, but
thank you. So like I think I had to ask my friend. I was like, why is he always on there? And then he laughed. He was like, this is Japanese people. Like, this is what they do. Like, they're always busy. They're always, and then they always do things right, like at the right time. So when you see them, it's not like they lost track of time, or maybe they just want. They are just like doing things.
they are just swift.
They are just swift. Like, that is just an interesting thing about them. Like, I just feel if we can actually apply some certain things, like to maybe some different places or to some other people, you can actually do some things and build yourself and actually build another different person, because someone can actually learn from what you are doing. Since this person actually taught me this thing, maybe a particular country or in a particular,
They are there, but trust me, we are like that.
Like that.
We are, you know, with time, people came up, you will grow and have tried before you and couldn't go,
couldn't
you know,
go.
go through. But it doesn't stop you from trying your best to do the best you have to do for your country. And before we continue with what we are discussing, of course, the country we are discussing about is Japan. Beautiful. In the fast lane, they are always, you know, trying to do something, or, you know, trying to go somewhere, or trying to just achieve something. So if you want to know more about Japan and then what they do, just stay with us. We'll go for a break and we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. This is still the Midday Show live on ECWE Television International. And in case you do not know me, my name is Magdalene Azal, and I am doing this with Linda Philip Ali. I love calling her in full, and you know she appreciates that.
Really?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Okay, before we go, we were still talking about, Japan. We are still talking about the Japanese people, the very, very remarkable, interesting, wonderful people.
Yeah.
And what else do you have to say?
Lovable people, actually. Welcoming and peaceful people. Yeah, there was something I actually researched about again. Japanese people are actually peaceful people. Do you
When they don't play with their business, though.
they don't play with their business. Like, it's something very interesting for you to know. Like, okay, some other people will feel this is the business I have, and then you still play with your business. This is something that is generating income for you, sir. But then you just feel like, okay, it comes to you, and then you're not just making use of that time that you have to just get that thing done. But people in Japan, like, they actually feel, they know that this is business. When it comes to business, it's strictly
Sorry
business.
for breaking you. You said they are very peaceful people, but when you play with their business, that's when you see the violence, in them, because they will just be like, this thing, you know how they can be very fast in getting angry, especially when things are not getting done. So do not just feel like, okay, these people are actually not friendly. They are, but
friendly.
when it comes to their business, you have to be careful.
They don't joke with their business, which is actually something remarkable, because for you not to joke with your business, it means you know what you're doing. It means you know that you've put a lot into this, and then you have to just get something out of it. They said if you're doing something and then you're not getting anything out of it, then it means you should stop doing it. But then people in Japan know the quality of the things they do. That is why they actually take time to do their business. So when you try to play with their business, it actually show you that business is business and pleasure is pleasure. You know, talking about the people in Japan, I just know that the housewives actually love to take their children out, hanging out. And you know, when we talk about they being in school and all about reading and learning, like, they actually have time for themselves. Like, when you go out with your mom and you meet other people outside there, like, they have
I think
fun.
they have a park, mom's park or something.
Yes, mom's park. Yeah, I think yes. When you go there, you meet different mothers over there, and then you realize they talk about a lot of things. They talk about maybe things going on and how to grow and how to make things go better for them and their children and their husband. So you know, it's something very interesting to know that the housewives actually have time for their children. You can't just say you have a kid and then you don't have time for your child.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Like, the kids will come back from school, you will take care of their assignments, aside things that you've been doing. And one thing about their housewives again is they wake up in the morning. They are the first to wake up in the morning, because you have to cook rice.
Yeah, of course, they don't joke with rice.
Yes, especially for breakfast. She'll have to cook rice for her husband before he goes. And sometimes she dresses her husband, like, she keeps everything that he's going to wear. The only thing the man does is when he wakes up in the morning, he just goes to the bathroom and takes his bath. That is the only thing he does. And he wears whatever she has kept for him. He goes out. She takes care of the home, take care of the children when they're back, take care of giving them food. And just the way you said, sometimes you just go to the parks and then meet up with some mothers and talk about some of the challenges they have as wives, taking care of some things. And somebody can have an easier way for you or for for them. It's really interesting that these women take priority in having, and that is why I said this one is a full job, because they take so much priority and so much pride in what they do as housewives.
The people in Japan are actually jam-packed in one place. Like, they are always just together. Like there was something I read that they are packed in one place like sardine. Like, it's funny to know, but then because they are together, because they are peaceful people, because they love each other, they don't just feel that, okay, maybe they're jam-packed in one place and then maybe they're not doing anything for themselves, or maybe they are not happy. The fact that they are jam-packed in one place makes it better for them to even live better. They don't even have issues about saying this thing carelessly. It could be that you keeping it careless, maybe something might happen to you, not literally someone picking it, or maybe it could get spoiled, it could get damaged by maybe something, something can just step on it, you don't know, maybe you can just keep something on the floor and then someone can step on it and then to get damaged, and then you feel, that's why they said even if they are safe people, even if that place is safe. Of course, there are places that you can find yourself and then it's not going to be peaceful for you to be there. It could be dangerous. It has happened to you already. So then the only thing they can do maybe is just take care of, but then maybe it has happened to you personally, not just losing something, but then it could harm you. And then you just end up feeling, okay, it has happened to me, what do I do, or where do I go to, or stuffs like that. But then people in Japan actually do things their own way. That is why they are unique in nature. That is why the things they do is actually an interesting thing for other people to learn, for other people to know that this thing they are doing is something I need to do for myself as well. So people, the result at the end of the thing, and that is something they are proud of themselves for. So then why not be proud of yourself and do something that's going to build you actually?
And you know, because of this, they are workaholic, you know, nature. You know, most times when they are in their workplaces, they hardly have time to say, okay, I want to go out and just grab something to eat. And in fact, most times, even if they go out to grab something, it's just for them to grab actually and just go back to their workplace, and they're probably eating it, and you know, as they finish up with what they are doing. But you hardly see them you know, during work hours, you know, sitting down somewhere to say they want to eat. And but they actually love going out, because most times, just the way we said, they hardly have people in the house. So most times restaurants, you just see them so full there, and you just be wondering, which mama put is this one? What is she serving them? You know, but it is their nature and how they do things. They just like going out, just getting something. But during work hours, no way. They don't have much time for them to spend. They just want to eat something and just go back to, you know, what they are doing. For the fact that they are workaholics, they also love, you know, taking care of their bodies and then doing the right thing. And that is why they eat food. And sometimes I just feel like these people, those supplements, actually, you have to be careful, the one that is suitable for you, or the one that actually supplements. And sometimes you just get so busy, you'll not even realize that you have, you know, spent that much time doing something without eating. But when you go back to eat, your body is actually still in good shape, and there's no problem.
Yeah, you know, they actually have time for each other. They actually have time to hang out. They have time to sit. In as much as they are business-minded people, in as much as the business they do is more like they don't joke with it. They don't just sit and say, okay, fine, maybe because I'm a businessman, so I don't need to do anything. They actually have time for leisure as well. But then they don't just put in the whole of the time just for leisure. No, they just do that just to cool themselves off, and then just to have a little time with friends and family.
And trust me, if you're not somebody that can contribute positively in their lives, you're not their friend.
Of course, they'll just leave you behind, because they have this positive way of doing things that will even make you. How would you even feel being the negative person amongst people with being optimistic about certain things? How would you feel? Because you know, when you sit with people and then they are doing things that is actually right,